You're watching Sports Central, live at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to this special edition of Sports Central Saturday on the Road. I'm Jim Hill, joined by former USC running back and current Dorsey High School head football coach, Stafon Johnson. And Stafon, before we start talking about anything that we just saw right here, congratulations. You and your Dorsey Dons are going to the playoffs.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. I really want to appreciate everybody, and I want to just thank our administration, our players, our coaches. A lot of resilience has been put into this season. A lot of things that we've been having, a lot of turmoil, a lot of things that we weren't able to accomplish. But you know, the position that we're in right now, man, I'm so excited for our boys, and they're ready to go.
You talk about ready to go. Georgia was ready to go today, 42-20 over Florida.
Absolutely.
I mean, Georgia's Brock Bowers just might be the best tight end in the country, and he showed it today.
I definitely mentioned that before, and then we spoke about it before. I think that this is one of the best combination of speed, power, got great hands, and a great target for Bennett. Excuse me.
And how about that running game of the Georgia Bulldogs? They were howling themselves.
Oh, man, over 300 yards rushing. They did a great job, and it allowed Bennett to get some play-action passes in there, to be able to use the running game to create more passing lanes.
Did it surprise you how lopsided or one-sided this game was?
Not at all. Georgia's at home. I told you they've always been my favorite for this year for the number one seed, and they took care of business. They had 500 yards total offense. The defense was stellar. They couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do no wrong today. They did a great job.
Did you have a feeling inside that this could happen?
I did. Like I said, that was always my favorite. They was on my favorite to win it all. That's what I felt. And for them to be at home and take care of business behind the hedges, I think that was already noted.
It's really kind of amazing. You better believe it. Okay, my friends, what do you say we talk about some other action and plenty of other action across college football? The second-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes facing their toughest test of the season so far, heading into Happy Valley for a battle on the road against number 13, Penn State.
Charged Up, sponsored by Action Ion Charged Alkaline Water.
The last 6 games between the two have been decided by an average of just 6 points. To the fourth quarter we go now. Penn State is up 21-16. Travion Henderson takes the handoff 41 yards into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Buckeyes are up now 23-21. Ensuing Penn State drive, Buckeye defender J.T. Tuimoloau strips the ball from Sean Clifford and recovers it. Ohio State takes over at the Penn State 24. And on the next play, C.J. Stroud hits tight end Cade Stover, who fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Buckeyes lead it 30-21. Buckeyes will get the ball back. Henderson finds the end zone again. This time a 7-yard rush, putting the Buckeyes up 37-24. And on the next Penn State drive, Tuimoloau intercepts Clifford again. This time he takes it all the way for a touchdown. He finishes with 4 forced turnovers as the Buckeyes going to win it 44-31.
You know, for whatever it is, we play Penn State, it's been that way. And we talked about how you have to withstand the surge early. Really proud of the way the guys played in the fourth quarter, the way they just played really hard, finished out the game. So it's a great win, and I thought our guys hung tough.
7th-ranked TCU looking to continue its unbeaten season on the road against West Virginia. We pick it up in the first quarter. TCU is down 7-0, and senior quarterback Max Duggan hits Tay Barber in stride. He takes it all the way for the 71-yard touchdown. Horned Frogs tied at 7. Second quarter, it's tied at 14 now. Kendre Miller gets the handoff and takes it 51 yards for the score. TCU with 3 straight touchdowns over 50 yards, 21-14 Horned Frogs. West Virginia looking for an answer before halftime. J.T. Daniels connects with Justin Johnson for the score, and we're all tied at 21. 30 seconds left in the half when Imani Bailey gives TCU the halftime lead with his 30-yard score. Fourth quarter now, the Mountaineers are down 10, needing some offense. Daniels finds Reese Smith for the score, and West Virginia is now down by just 3. After a 3 and out, it's 4th down now for TCU, and they go for it. A free play for Duggan. The jump ball is caught by Savion Williams for the score. TCU stays unbeaten, winning this one 41-31.
We made it hard on ourselves at times today, but, you know, as you said, guys just finish, and it's important to them to grind it out at the end of games, and we found ways to win, and we did it again today. I'd like to make it easier on ourselves sometimes, but we've managed to pull it out, and somehow they're grinding through it.
To the Bay Area we go now for 8th-ranked Oregon, and they have won 6 straight games, and they took on Cal. The Ducks are trailing 3-0 in the second quarter. On 3rd and goal, Bo Nix fakes the pass and finds his way into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Ducks are up now 7-3. But Cal is fighting back. Ensuing drive, Jack Plummer rolls to his left and finds J. Michael Sturdivant, who gets a foot down for the score. The Golden Bears take the lead 10-7. Oregon would score to go up 14-10. After a defensive interception, Bo Nix finds Bucky Irving, who stretches past the pylon for the score. The Ducks scored 3 first-half touchdowns to go into the halftime leading 21-10. To the third quarter we go, same score. Ducks driving, and Bo Nix finds Noah Whittington underneath, who evades the tacklers to take it 29 yards for the touchdown as Oregon gets the big victory over Cal, winning it 42-24. That is absolutely incredible. Okay, Stafon, Ohio State getting some big-time defensive plays today from some big-time defensive players.
Absolutely, man. I think that Ohio State did a great job going into Penn State and holding their ground and going into Happy Valley and sending them home with a loss.
It's really kind of amazing because you know that, okay, they have a chance of winning the game, but not like they did. They just dominated in every aspect.
I think Ohio State knew that in order for them to win the game in this aspect, they had to have a great showing on the defensive end. They did a great job and did that. I think C.J. Stroud and the offensive side is definitely can put up the points, kind of stop them.
Okay, let's talk about TCU's high-powered offense with plenty of big plays. That is for sure. 3 touchdowns of over 50 yards or more, and their 41-31 victory over West Virginia.
You got to be able to have these big plays on our defensive side. You got to be able to stop these big plays, and TCU did a great job. Dawkins had a heck of a job game today, and West Virginia couldn't keep up. West Virginia was scoring, but they couldn't stop them.
Have you been in games where you just kept going because you knew you could score almost at any time?
Yeah, I think that once you got the person down, you got to definitely put your foot on their neck and kind of show that you can really oppose your will at any given time.
Okay, let's talk about some individuals right now. Oregon's Bo Nix with another a big day for the Ducks in their victory over Cal.
Oregon, man, Bo Nix looked amazing, and I think that, him being back with his offensive coordinator that he had from his freshman year, he had over eight receivers that had multiple catches. I mean, just to be able to disperse that amongst all his receivers, he looks really good.
And of course, when you have someone like that, it's just a matter of who he wants to throw to because everything is working.
I think him and the offensive coordinator is hitting on all cylinders. They're on the same page, and for him to have over 400 yards passing, and like I said, was able to hit eight receivers on multiple catches.
Okay, we're going to talk about UCLA, and I know how you feel about that, but USC and UCLA both in action tonight. Stafon, now, what are you looking for from the Trojans?
I just think just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep showing that, we learn from our losses and learn from our mistakes and see how we go moving forward.
And talk about the loss going against Arizona now, because Arizona is pretty good.
Now, Arizona is very young. They have a lot of explosive young players on their football team, so it's really a test for our defense to kind of see exactly if have we made up from last week.
And when you're young and things happen to you negatively, sometimes it can hurt you on the long range. So that's why the coaching staffs have to be really careful about putting their players in certain positions by which they can get burned on passes and pass interceptions and things like that.
I think the bye week played perfectly into their situation by having right after their loss and giving them a chance to recuperate and get some injuries all together. And I think they'll be all right coming in this week.
Okay, you ready to talk about them?
Of course.
Let's talk about the UCLA Bruins. They'll take on Stanford. Taking on Stanford tonight. Coming off of last week's loss to Oregon.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you think they should get back on track and make a nice little run here.
I mean, I'm a UCLA fan right now. We need them to win out, and I think they have the capability of doing that. I think that by being able to feed Zach and be able to let the quarterback do his thing and do the things that he's been doing all year, I think they have a good shot at winning out.
Did you say you're a UCLA fan?
Just for right now. We need them to win out.
So that when it comes down to that certain game of the season,
of course,
everything will be on the line.
I think we'll all line up, and it'll set us up for a great football match. Excuse me.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching, that is for sure. All right, everybody, time now for our first commercial break on this edition of Sports Central. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to the Rams showdown with the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow at SoFi Stadium.
Play of the Day, sponsored by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Bruyne with a free kick. Oh, it's incredible. Breakthrough for Manchester City. After much of the pressure in the first half, they needed that goal, and Manchester City lead.
Wow. Just wow. The game was tight. It needed a bit of magic. and this man has provided it.
Sports Central is sponsored by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. You're watching Sports Central live at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
And welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Chargers HQ. Really, tonight premieres on CBS 2. It's all about the run game with segments on Joshua Kelly and Austin Eckler. You can see it all tonight at a special time of 7:30. And welcome back. The Chargers on a bye week while the Rams are coming off theirs, heading to a matchup with the San Francisco 49ers at SoFi Stadium, and that will be tomorrow. The Rams were really dominated earlier this season, losing to the Niners 24-9. That was back in week number 4, their 7th straight loss in the regular season against San Francisco. However, head coach Sean McVay is really trying to really focus on the task at hand and not the history between these two rivals.
I'm right here, right now. I think competitive, exciting. You know, it's a great opportunity for us. You know, and I really believe this. I get up here and everybody wants to talk about different things. I'm interested in Sunday at 125, us going and doing our thing, competing to the best of our ability, no fear of failure, going and attacking success, and it's what I expect to see.
It's like a collection of things. We just gotta play better on both sides of the ball and special teams. We got to like put the game together as a whole team. I think we excelled in certain moments during that game, in an NFC Championship game, and I feel like in the regular season at times we have not done good enough in key moments and played complementary football in a lot of those key moments.
All right, my friends, now here are the numbers for the Rams and the 49ers head-to-head in the regular season. Let's say we date back to 2019. San Francisco has nearly 80 more yards per game while holding the Rams under 17 points on an average. That's incredible. They also have the edge in both sacks and takeaways. And, of course, the Rams did beat the Niners in last season's NFC Championship game. All right, Stafon, let's talk about this 49ers because they sacked Stafford 7 times back in week number 4. And I know that's a major concern to the Rams, and I know the 49ers are going to see if the Rams have benefited from that and have learned from that.
I think this is going to be another great game. I think these two rival games have really been good to us. Unfortunately, I was told I think Debo won't be playing this week, but I think the defensive line of the 49ers is very explosive, and it's going to definitely test the O-line of the Rams.
Why is it that, well, of course, they beat them in the playoffs, but why did San Francisco have so much success early in the year and in the years past?
I think that they have a method to it and they stick to it. You know, they use Debo in great points of the game, and somehow or another he always hurts the Rams.
Somehow or another. Yeah. When you think about, how about this, Stafon? The Chargers lost to the Seahawks heading into their bye week. What do they need to do in order to get back on track now?
I think the Chargers just got to get healthy as much as they can. I think they're doing it with a lot of different injuries. A lot of people are banged up. I think that the more that they get more they get healthy and start getting some of their guys back, I think they start getting back on the swing, on the roll.
But until then, the backups are going to have to really play, better than expected.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can't depend so much on Eckler. You got to have some people to help him out, and Gilbert needs some help out there. I think the defense is doing a great job. Just got to work on the offensive side.
When you have things like that, do you kind of stick to basic fundamentals, or can you kind of branch out and do some of the unexpected?
I think the best thing to do is to be able to protect Hilbert as much as possible. I think if they can be able to protect him, he can distribute the ball very well.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching, that is for sure. All right, my friends, time now for another commercial break right here on this edition of Sports Central. When we come back, I'm going to visit with former Dodger All-Star outfielder Reggie Smith to talk about his time with the Boys in Blue.
When the primary elections were on the line, we delivered with one-on-one candidate interviews, reports on key issues in your community.
Governor and mayor.
We obviously need change.
On the air. online, and streaming the latest election results.
The votes are still being counted for California's primary.
We had you covered during the primaries, and November is just around the corner. Stay informed this coming election with CBS 2 News election coverage.
If you're ready to make room for a bigger bed, the time is right at the Revive Sleep Center inside Living Spaces, where you can get a king mattress for the price of a queen. Size up and save up to $600 on all Stearns & Foster Cassatt models, or save up to $400 on our luxurious Drew & Jonathan collection. You'll even get your mattress fast and free with next-day shipping. Don't wait to upgrade. Only at the Revive Sleep Center inside Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
My name is Susana Morales, and I'm 64 years old. Before I joined Ultimate Pace, I weighed 285 pounds. I was the first through Ultimate Pace to have the gastric sleeve. The nutritionist, she tells me what I can eat. I use the stepper that's like a bike, and they help me step by step. They tell you how to prepare the foods. I also exercise in my home. My self-esteem has gone really high. If it wasn't for Ultimate Pace, I don't know where I would be right now.
What does the LA Times say about Karen Bass's homelessness plan? Far smaller than Caruso. Underwhelming. Bass says she won't even solve the homelessness problem after 4 years. It's more of the same empty City Hall talk. The Times says Rick Caruso's plan is bigger, with 30,000 beds in 300 days, hundreds of thousands of new affordable homes, and 500 new sanitation workers to clean up our streets. Fix homelessness now. Rick Caruso for mayor.
You're watching Sports Central, live at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Playing with Passion, sponsored by Pacifico.
3-2 from Garcia. Realmuto shoots one in the air the other way. Back goes
Former Dodger outfielder Reggie Smith played parts of 6 seasons in Los Angeles and was a major part of the teams that took on the mighty Yankees in 3 World Series. Smith actually grew up in Los Angeles, starting at Centennial High School in Compton. Now, I spoke with the former slugger about his greatest memories as a Dodger in this week's edition of Boys in Blue.
Boys in Blue, sponsored by Capozio Buick GMC.
What is your greatest memory of being a Dodger or with the Dodgers that you accomplished on the field?
And it's getting to the World Series.
The right fielder, Reggie Smith.
High drive. Way out of here. Home run by Reggie Smith, and the Dodgers are back on top 3-2.
The 3 World Series that I played here with the Dodgers, and those were special times.
2-strike pitch to Smith. Hit deep to right center field. He's going back. He is gone.
Oh, the Dodger team is bringing them all tonight.
In 1977, when we were still doing things that had never happened in the game, where you had the 4 guys hit the 30 home runs, that was special. Mine are more about what the accomplishment of the team, what we were able to accomplish as a team and a group of players that came together and like formed the arms of an octopus. If one didn't get you, the other one would.
The prodigal son returns home. That's what it was.
It was. You know, getting to play for the team of the player that I most idolized at that time growing up as a kid, it was Jackie Robinson's team, and the Dodgers were, for the most part, almost every African-American kid's team of choice at that time, because of Jackie and Roy Campanella and Joe Black, Don Newcomb, and those guys that made it possible.
One of the reasons why the Dodgers have a great past is because of Reggie Smith. That's for sure. All right, my friends, One last break here on this edition of Sports Central. How about Studs and Duds is on the way, including some snacks on the sidelines, if you can believe that. When we come back.
You're watching Sports Central, live at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And it's time now for Studs and Duds. Simon, you're going to get a big kick out of this one, that is for sure. Okay, now what do you say we start with some special teams? Usually fake field goals don't go that well, but Oklahoma pulled off a smooth one against Iowa State. The holder flips it to the kicker, who goes into the end zone untouched for the score. Stafon, have you ever seen anything like that before?
No, I didn't, but I definitely got my notepad out. We'll be looking for this come the playoffs. I need something like this.
and of course, you know, you work on this all week long, just hoping, and whoever instilled it really hopes that it goes off well so you can come up with another one.
Yeah, you can look at the Iowa State's coach right there. He was definitely not happy about how that went down, but great execution on the Oklahoma football side.
Yeah, you better believe that is for sure. So they feel real good about that. That is when you're running it in. Okay, it was a dud of a game between Miami and Virginia. Now, how do you play a 4-overtime game and have neither team score a touchdown the entire game?
Yeah, it just didn't go their way. This week. And they, by them getting inside the 5-yard line on multiple times, and it was a rough game for both sides. And I guess one of them was real happy to get the game over with.
Oh yeah, Miami would go on to win it 14-12 after it went to 2-point conversions and quadruple overtime. Stafon, quadruple overtime.
That's a lot. I don't know if it's great defense or not so bad. Great defense or not so good offense.
Okay, meanwhile, Minnesota's Mohamed Ibrahim had a big day for the Golden Gophers, rushing for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns. Getting into the end zone must have made him really, really hungry because Ibrahim, look here, he had a pack of gushers on the sidelines. Stafon, you ever see anything like that?
It's nothing like some vittles. It's nothing like some vittles, man. Being able to put it on yourself.
That's our program for today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.